Welcome back to Sukanya the podcast, where every episode starts with a walk and ends with a deeper connection. In this series, we are exploring Lancashire, and today I am joined by Amanda Green of Amanda Green Coaching, emotional and spiritual intelligence and transformation coach. Amanda brings with her over 25 years of experience in business, leadership, and personal growth. As we walk through Williamson Park, exploring the various woodland pathways, we discussed the importance of understanding ourselves, how Amanda transitioned from the corporate world into her current business, and the importance of peeling back our layers and letting go of what no longer serves us to lead from a place of inner freedom. So whether you're lacing up your boots or tuning in with a warm cup of tea, join us as we explore what it really means to transform from the inside out. Let's walk! Hi, Amanda.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Yeah.
And a bit mystical.
Very good. Tired, positive. Did you say we're going this way?
Yeah.
To the left. Okay. Tired,
As
positive.
Beyonce would say.
I know, it's always to the left, to the left. Tired, positive, and mystical. Do we want to break them down?
I don't know.
No.
Let's just
park it. Yeah, we'll park that for now. So you're looking very green, Amanda Green.
Thank
with
you.
your green spectacles, jacket, and green juice.
Yeah, it's the brand.
I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed that the juice is green as well.
Why not?
Yeah. Health kicking then.
Yes, I feel like if it's green, it's going to do something good for me.
Yeah. Totally. Why not?
Psychology.
Yeah, I love that.
And it wasn't cheap either, so you really wanted to work.
Oh, did you buy the green stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What's in it?
I can't remember.
Oh, well, it looks very healthy anyway.
Exactly.
I can't believe how freezing cold it is for the end of March.
Oh,
I wasn't ready for this.
I'm quite happy though, 'cause I'm having a lot of hot flushes
Oh,
at the moment.
Yeah.
So this is working for me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's actually pleasant then.
Yeah.
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 So what's
Lovely.
going on with your week in general?
Well, what's going on with my week? I'm feeling the massive shifts of change.
Okay.
So, as you know, I'm always interested in astrological movements and what goes on in the cosmos.
Yes.
And there's so much happening right now.
Uh-huh.
And I am really feeling it. Like I physically feel
Oh, do you?
change. Yes.
That's
So
amazing.
as my intuition's developed, I actually can sort of predict or anticipate things that are going to happen.
Right.
So I can feel huge change for me.
Right.
Some of it I know what it is, some of it I don't know what it is. And it feels like, certainly for a lot of people will be feeling this way as we're recording this, because obviously this will go out a month or two afterwards.
Yeah.
It's a bit like caterpillar to butterfly transition.
Oh, okay.
So lots of people are at specific points where they are going to break free from some old limiting beliefs or patterns. Mm-hmm. And usually the phase when that happens, when you get the closest to it, is often the time where the old beliefs rattle up more than ever. As if they're going to rattle up really strongly, and people tend to think that they're going backwards at that point.
Right.
But they're not. They're about to have a breakthrough.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So just to pause there a second, what is it you do?
Sometimes I struggle to explain this myself. But in short, I'm a transformation coach and facilitator.
Okay.
And I specialise in spiritual intelligence.
Spiritual intelligence. Okay, so how did you get into this?
By accident.
But I love that.
Or you could say it's my destiny.
Yeah, I love that so many people I speak to, they've kind of fallen into what they do. And I think that's great.
Yes, because there's so many options these days. You know, back in the day it was very... You're really going to be one of 5 things, weren't you, really?
Yeah.
But it's different now, and I think because we've evolved as well, we realise that we don't have to choose one thing and make it the forever thing. And no one's working for, however many decades and getting a carriage clock at the end of it.
No,
so, times have changed.
Of clocks.
Yeah, so times have changed. Yeah. So I think people are doing things more intuitively, where they're going with what they feel more drawn to, and where their passion is and their joy. Yeah. And you can't just know the answer to that. It's not always that obvious, and it takes time.
And also getting to know yourself, I guess, which is a big part of what you do, is it?
Oh, huge. Yeah. I genuinely believe that self-awareness is the greatest key to understanding ourselves, understanding other people, and leadership as well. Yeah.
And so with the, so did you say transformation and facilitation?
Yeah, so transformation is my middle name.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on the physical next. But so I do coaching, one-to-one coaching, and facilitation, workshop, and design and delivery as well. So I love designing and delivering, engaging, informative, transforming, workshops, programs, courses, whatever it is.
And is it on any topic, or what's the topic?
The topic is you. So essentially it's on the mindset, emotional intelligence, our psyche, our behaviour, a complete understanding of everything that makes us up, and what we don't know and what we do know about ourselves.
And is this something, so I think, because I personally love all this stuff, I love getting to know myself.
Yeah.
And I think the more you're comfortable in yourself, the more you put yourself out there and not worry about other things.
Oh, exactly. Because it's about the whole journey is about getting to an authentic place. Because there is so much patterning, conditioning, societal expectations.
Yes.
But what I say is that we're not becoming like a new version of ourselves.
Yeah.
We're actually becoming our true selves, and we're just lifting off all the crap, basically.
Yeah. So peeling back the layers.
Yeah. To knowing who we really are.
Yeah. Wow. These birds are very chatty.
It's good, isn't it? It's like watching Cinderella.
Yeah. So
Snow White. She digged the birds as well, didn't she?
Snow White definitely did. Yeah. So
that sounds like a really terrible phrase. just on reflection, that could be interpreted in so many strange ways. However, we move on.
Let's move forward. So with the transformation, before we get to the transformation again, what did you do in your previous life?
Oh, right. In this incarnation.
Yeah. In this incarnation, career-wise.
Over 25 years of business development, business growth, training, facilitation.
Wow.
And coaching in corporate, self-employed and education.
So you had the coaching facilitation part anyway.
Yes, I've been training people for a lot, because I think actually, yes, I have the qualifications and I have the experience, but there are just some things people have a natural disposition for before they get the qualifications. Right. Like if you can,
that attracts
some people can do. Yeah, some people can do things really well, but to train or teach them is a really different skill set.
Yeah.
And so is facilitation, which people look at and think is easy, but it is a skill set in its own right.
It is. And having witnessed your facilitation at the Pink Link monthly meetings, I can testify.
Thank you so much.
They are amazing.
You're so kind. As are all the women who attend, aren't they?
They are.
It's a joy.
The energy is so great in that room.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Everyone comes and your energy really helps because you really lift it.
No, we work together, don't we?
Yeah, it's wonderful. So what kind of drew you to the transition?
To the transformation part?
Yeah, to move away from that entire career.
Well, I realised looking back, I've always done it. Like, whenever I go into work with a person, or I go into an organisation, or I go to deliver something, I have a transformational effect or impact.
Oh, okay.
And I realise I only like transforming. I don't like running stuff.
Right.
So once the transformation happens, I'm gone.
Right.
So, I've gone into businesses. I've trebled the sales in my department. So I like taking something from one place and getting it to a completely other place, because that's transformation, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I'm really passionate about service delivery and relationships and communication, and all those are a key part of transformation. So it's just who I am.
Yeah. So it's kind of like from what you were saying before, your natural calling was towards coaching, facilitating, training.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just evolved, hasn't it, to sort of form your version of what that is, utilising your natural skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the spirituality side of things then.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, because this is going to be a whole new world for a lot of people, especially a lot of people in the corporate world who aren't necessarily thinking about. So a lot of people in the corporate world will be thinking about self-development.
Yes.
But not necessarily in a different...
Yeah.
This is a totally different slant to that self-development.
Yes, I've now taken on the role of a pioneer and an entrepreneur as well. Although that's always been a theme, interestingly.
Has it?
So, yeah, interestingly as well, most of my clients are, all of my clients are professional. Some of them are corporate.
Yeah.
And, at C-suite level, board level, director level, and all the way through to coaches.
Okay.
And therapists. And so I think, and leaders. And I think the link is people who want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to transform on some level or help other people to transform.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the very short story is that I was a diehard skeptic. I had no interest in spirituality whatsoever. I thought it was mumbo jumbo.
Isn't that interesting?
Rolled my eyes. Wasn't at all interested.
I mean, that was probably me a few years ago. If someone said tarot cards, I'd be like, oh, come on.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was like. And I don't even know if I knew what tarot cards were.
Yeah.
But I went through a spiritual awakening or transformation, call it whatever you like.
Yeah.
And it changed me forever.
And how did that manifest? What does that feel like or look like?
Oh, God. Well, it went on for quite a few years.
Okay.
And the last 3 years have been the most intense.
Yeah.
But, in a nutshell, I started having spiritual and psychic experiences, and I've never stopped. That's never stopped.
Okay. And what does that feel like? What does that look like?
Well,
if someone's never experienced that, or
many ways.
Yeah.
How do I explain this? I mean, it looks different for a lot of people. Like sometimes, even when people get really worried or they stop sleeping.
Yeah.
A lot of that is a call to spiritual transformation.
Oh, okay.
And recognising patterns of who we are. And somehow knowing that you were meant to be different, or you were something isn't quite right, and there's a different way of being. And for me personally, I started having all sorts of connection with things that were beyond this world. I've seen some freaky stuff.
Okay. Is that like visions?
Yeah, so I developed multi-sensory psychic abilities.
Right.
So I can see things, I can hear things, I can receive impressions, I can feel things, I can move. It's all about energy, really. So one of my personal journeys, which sounds, I never wanted to sound batshit crazy, but this is the truth.
No, it's really interesting.
Yeah, was having past life experiences.
Right.
Something that I had never, ever subscribed to or thought ever would be real or true. I thought that when you died, that was it. You're in the ground, and you were done.
Yeah.
But I've had lots of, to this point, the number of experiences I've had, I'd be an idiot if I didn't take it on board.
Right.
And it actually showed me all the archetypes in my own psyche, all the patterns of behaviour that I had and where they came from.
So how does that past life experience feel? Like, could it happen anywhere, anytime?
No, I tune in. Well, when I was going through a lot of the changes, it happened at night.
Okay.
Where I was sort of more relaxed.
Yeah.
Not busy in the day.
Yeah.
And things just happened because obviously I was meant to have those experiences. I didn't ask for them.
Yeah.
I didn't want them for a long time, but they did happen, and it was part of who I was meant to become. And now I can retrieve them for other people.
Right.
So I meditate before coaching sessions.
Oh, okay.
And I will receive past life information for the people I work with, which is many professionals and many people in business, to better understand themselves. And I think what it gives people a profound ability to understand themselves on a level that's beyond conscious thinking.
Yeah.
And is pivotal sometimes for what they go on to do next, or to break the habit of a lifetime or lifetimes. So they can break self-doubt or feelings of judgment or persecution or powerlessness or control issues, trust issues. Yeah. And it for me, it's changed me on the level that psychology helped, but this has changed me on an entirely new level. Right. To be able to let go, which is a big spiritual lesson, letting go. It is. We're not very good at that. Yeah. A lot of the time.
Well, it's being open to it, isn't it? It's being sort of understanding what's happening. And so how did you understand what was happening? Did you get support to talk it through?
I've got some really good friends, and part of the journey was learning who are not my friends.
Yes.
And some really, really good friends. Some good friends in the field as well, who we could help each other. Okay. But part of my particular understanding, that because every soul, so spiritual intelligence is really understanding that you're a soul and a spirit beyond your body, mind, thoughts and emotions. Yeah. And we all come to this particular life to focus on key themes of development. Most people will know what their key themes of development are because it's usually their talents and their greatest challenges. Right. And you can see it if you've lived long enough. Like me, you can look back over the decades and go, oh, that's interesting. Look at the themes that have played out in these relationships, for example, or these ways that things have worked with my career choices or my family of origin or, lots of different experiences. You'll work out what your patterns are because they're repetitive. Yeah. Or addictions. Yeah. Beliefs that we have, limiting beliefs. There's so many beliefs we have that are just not true, but they have a really strong hold on people, and many of them are ancestral as well. Oh, are they? And lots around prosperity consciousness and poverty consciousness and lack, because that's prevalent in Western society. And all of it, I can trace it back to past lives. Yeah. Whether people subscribe to that or not, you can still do this work. Absolutely. Yeah. I only bring that in when it's asked, requested, or needed. Yeah. Well, that's really interesting, and there's so much there to try and unpick. I don't think I didn't even answer the original question, because what you were asking about the support, but part of my journey has been to have the courage of my own conviction, and to understand myself so well that I can develop a spiritual connection with my soul, the highest part of me, without requiring external validation or needing to check things with other people. Yeah, which is all about doubt, really, because we are going to do that if we don't understand that we're bigger. Yeah. Stronger. Oh, hello, rabbit. Oh, rabbit. Oh, excited. I'm always scared it away. With that enthusiasm. Those noisy birds. They really are. Well, so we met at Williamson Park, and which bit are we in at the moment? Oh, I've just had a menopausal moment. It's gone right out of my head. Are we going to walk past it again, the sign? Yeah. Okay. We'll have a look at the sign. Fenham Crag. Fenham Crag. Fenham Car. Fenham Car. Fenham Car. Yeah. Between us, we'll get to it. Yes. I love that the bird boxes have door numbers. Oh, that's very cute. So I guess do you actively go out and go to corporate environments and sort of say, this is what I can do for you, or do you let people find you? By the way, you said do to you. Here's what I'm going to do to you. I actually get most of my business from recommendations from within my network. Okay. And if I've coached somebody as well who's a business owner or a director, they understand my abilities, so they will generally recommend me to do a piece of work. So that's how I've got all my business so far. Because one thing I'd love to do on the transformation piece is very clearly understand the objectives and design and deliver something that absolutely nails that.
So when we talk about transformation in your world, what does that mean? Is that transformation of a person?
Yeah. Or a culture. Because that involves people, obviously.
Yeah, organisation, culture.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it both way around. You can go into a culture and change the culture and change the people.
Yeah.
And you can go, if they want to change, or receptive to it on some level. Yeah. Or you can go to the person who transforms and changes their environment.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And so how resistant are people initially when they work with you? Are they resistant?
No, they usually, if they have resistance, they're very self-aware. They're aware of their resistance. Because people don't come to me who are totally resistant.
Yeah,
I wouldn't invite them to work with me.
Yeah, you're not trying to...
I'm not convincing anybody.
I was going to say, yeah.
And the person has to, on some level, even if it's subconscious, want to change.
Yeah. So I guess if it was someone, say... we're going uphill.
Going uphill.
Someone was, say I was a new client and I've sort of had a couple of years where I'm thinking something's off, but I don't know what.
Yes.
Is it as vague as that?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, absolutely.
And just some curiosity that's driving me to talk to you.
Yeah, nobody comes to me before they're ready.
Yeah. And I guess you're not looking for people to come to you with an answer of what they're looking for either.
Well, sometimes they do.
Oh, they do?
Yes, and that's good. Sometimes they know where they want to get to, but they're aware that something's not clicking. Something's not enabling them to get there.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of work with them around understanding how their beliefs are involved in creating that version of their reality.
And it's like
how they can change that.
Roadblock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called myself an extrasensory plumber the other day on my post. Because I can intuitively pick up blockages.
And flush them out.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you brought your plunger today.
Yeah, I might carry one around, actually.
Maybe you should get plumbing branded fleeces or something.
Who knows? Yeah. Oh, heck,
there is something
with an exhaust coming.
I was going the other way.
Yeah.
That's handy.
I have my own spiritual intelligence leadership model, which is so that one is much more open to everybody, shall we say? Because I'm positioning myself appropriately for the audience.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to see the house. This is the memorial, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we're on we're in a because I feel like we're in a European country. We are.
Last time I checked.
Yeah, it's just nice the way it sort of emerges up from behind the trees.
Yeah, it's a great
park. Beautiful.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
Yeah, even if it is so grey and cold at the end of March.
Yeah, I'm tropically balmy.
Yeah, one of us is good. That's the main thing.
Yeah, need some thicker socks on.
Yeah, I do. Well, I
need some hiking socks.
You know what happened was yesterday was so sunny.
Yeah,
it lured me into a false sense of security. It's like, this is it. We're on the up now.
Does that?
Well, we're changing clocks this weekend, aren't we?
I don't think anybody talks about the weather as much as English people.
I know, it's true.
Chronic, aren't we?
It's true. It's like the opening line of every conversation is the weather.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. The butterfly house as well is lovely, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, amazing.
Birthday parties here for my children when they were younger.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they're teenagers now, but when they were little.
How teenagery are they?
They're both amazing, actually.
As in age.
So
age,
16 and soon to be 14.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fully into the teenage years.
Oh, well embedded, yeah. GCSE's looming.
And do they understand what your job involves?
Do you know, they probably do.
Yeah.
More than
Oh, okay.
Most of my family.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you're so funny.
I know.
Every time you laugh, you make me want to laugh.
I do love laughing. That's one of my core values.
I love that
Is
as
laughter.
well. I love that. We don't do it enough.
No.
We're too serious.
Although I do know the laughter queen who does all, Lottie Mickelson. She's brilliant. She does lots of laughter workshops. She's been on the TV all sorts. She came and did a section for an event of mine. So yeah, she's getting people laughing all over the place.
Okay, so let's get back to all things Amanda Green.
Oh gosh,
this is your life.
Oh my god.
But I'm really curious. Well, yeah, which one? Well, this is the thing. I'm trying to think really carefully before I use my words, because I don't want to say anything that's making an assumption of the answer.
Oh.
And because I know that when we've spoken in the past, you've been very much about, well, we'll see what comes, or we'll see what happens, or go with the flow kind of thing, not try and control it.
Yeah, through my journaling as well. One of my stock phrases has ended up being, and it's not something I've calculated, let's see what happens. Yeah. And I notice I write it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to write things like joy.
Yeah.
Appears a lot. And I also focus on how many times, like, did I have a smiley day or not?
Oh, I love that.
And try and keep it to that's like my minimal criteria.
Yeah.
And with anything I do, if it makes me not smile, if I'm not smiling for 80% of my week, then I don't want to be there.
Okay.
That's kind of my criteria.
You're going to write that in your evaluation reports.
Yeah.
Thank you for your company. Yeah. I noticed I smelled 77%.
Yes, so exactly.
I'm moving on to another person.
I am out.
I'm out.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know what that building is up there?
No.
No. But that's a very pretty tree.
It is. I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. Yeah, so when you're working with someone, so I'm coming to you as a one-to-one client, do you have different packages you work through? How do you decide what's the right thing and how long?
Yeah, I totally work with the person to decide what's right for them. Mm-hmm. I have no interest in selling people, and I could because I've got a lot of experience in sales. Yeah. I have no interest in selling people something that isn't going to work for them.
Okay.
And genuinely, people can have one session with me, and that's all they need.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people, if they want the support and the space to make significant changes, then one session isn't probably going to be just enough.
Okay.
And then people will just come back to me when they think, I need a bit more of that.
Yeah. So I guess for a one offering, I guess, is like, say if it was me, let's work on me. We'll start at the surface level. I guess everything starts at surface level, and as we strip down the layers, we then work through deeper and deeper things, and that's when we might get to a point where we think, actually, I'm like really curious now about my ancestry, and can we go there? Yeah. she's like,
Yeah, I don't really. Well, so.
Or is it not that linear?
It's more organic, really. Yeah, it's more organic. As long as you know what the thing is that you want to change, then everything else will work around that. It's intuitive, organic, and it's extremely impactful.
Okay. And so what happens if you know you want to change? You can sense that you need change, but you don't know what that is.
Yeah. So sometimes it will be people's external circumstances that they want to change, be that a relationship or a career move.
So that's seen as external?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although everything is internal.
Okay.
And some people it might be and it's always linked to the emotions that they feel about the situation. Because when you change, when you transform the emotions and the thoughts, which are indicators of your beliefs, so you're really changing the beliefs, then the situations and the circumstances can change. And it's some people think that change has to happen just by making decisions, which clearly that's a part of it.
Yeah.
But there's always things linked to making decisions. In fact, one of the I was having sometimes I get repetitive thoughts and I think, I'll do some more around that. Right, I love to write, so I might write to help people and do some sessions. I think a lot of particularly empathic or sensitive people make decisions with emotions packed around them that don't need to be there.
Okay.
So they're trying to make a decision, but there's just so many emotions involved. And oftentimes it can be connected to self-doubt, control, people-pleasing, perfectionism.
So they're actually bounding the scope of their decision-making by a set of predetermined rules or something.
Yeah.
Because of those beliefs.
Yeah, and some decisions are big decisions, so they're going to take emotion. But if you're in management or leadership and you're trying to have crucial conversations with people and make decisions, a lot of them are not emotional, but they're being made emotional. And it's hard. It's difficult for people.
Oh my goodness, everyone wants to get involved today.
They're gold. Do you know what seagulls represent?
What?
The symbolism for many things, but they are scavengers. Like, they will... It's quite good for detoxifying that symbolism, because they'll come and get all the scraps and get very resourceful.
Okay.
And it's a bit like cleaning up the debris or cleaning up the waste.
Oh, that's lovely.
So yeah, and that's what we have to do sometimes for the mental and emotional body. Or they think you've got food in your pocket.
Or, well, more than likely, they sense that I'm an eater. I am a feeder too, Amanda.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Yes, that's really interesting. And so actually, if we don't do that work to understand what our blockers are, we might not be releasing our full potential.
No, 100%, because, you know, anything like, I wrote a blog about people pleasing recently, or a short post.
Yeah.
And really that's about emotional suppression.
Okay.
So anything where we are either recognising or not recognising that there's a lot of emotional charge around situations, it's connected to suppression.
Right.
And when you suppress emotions, that leads to depression, not shining your full light, not being your fullest self, not being able to be authentic.
Yeah.
And it leads to unhealthy relationships. And honestly, it can ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
Their whole thoughts and feelings are consumed by the same churn, and it doesn't need to be like that.
And how can people... So if someone was listening to this today, thinking everything's great, and hopefully everything is great.
Yes, hope so.
Even
problems aren't necessarily negative. That's also the way we judge it, the way we perceive it.
That's
all about growth.
It's about framing it, isn't it? How... I don't know how to ask the question, really. Like, I'm basically trying to say, how do you step out of yourself to assess your life in a way that might reveal to you that you might need to do some work?
Yeah.
And obviously we don't want to take away from anything you do as part of your one-to-one.
Oh, no.
But...
well, you need to recognise it. You don't
oh my God, why are we going uphill again?
It's only a little one.
Amanda, what is this walk?
Oh, it's an undulating park. I don't really know. I don't even know where we're going. It looks pretty, though. Do you want to go downhill?
I don't mind.
We'll go this way.
We might come back this way, so...
Yeah. So, so one thing is awareness.
Okay.
If you have the awareness that there needs to be a change, that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, congratulate yourself for that. And some people will recognise there's a need for change and they'll just keep themselves busy.
Oh,
busyness is an addiction. Yes.
I agree with that statement. I think, sorry to interrupt, having moved from the city, from London, about 16 years ago, I recognised that in myself.
Yes.
And one of the reasons...
In me, not in you.
So you didn't know me. Oh my God, this is amazing. One of the things I was very aware of was I was trying to do everything every day.
Yeah.
And I was actually pretty knackered.
Yeah.
But moving up here, the transition took about, I'd say, 5 years. The first 2 years I was going back to London every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it sort of eased out. And now, if I go once in 6 months,
that's fine.
It's fine.
It's good. And I used to work in London every week. architecturally, it's and socially, it's such a great city.
Yeah.
But busyness is an addiction.
Yeah.
And that busy fool syndrome is just wasting away with your life and avoiding many things.
Yeah.
Because I would say there's not many people who aren't emotionally suppressed. And it's actually the cause of many mental health challenges.
So just to pause there, I wanted to rewind a bit to when we talked about empaths.
Yeah.
What is an empath?
Yeah, so an empath is, although I'm not really a big fan of labels, but it helps to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Empaths are people who are deeply sensitive, may or may not realise it, because I didn't realise it about myself for a long time, and I masked it with addictions and busyness and all of that stuff.
Okay.
And was very successful as well, but, that's perception, isn't it? And it's people who are sensitive, and by that I don't mean flaky, more intuitive.
Yeah.
And need to not be in those overstimulating environments all the time.
Okay.
And actually need to get in tune with themselves.
Okay.
Because they're usually picking up on a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And they can often read the energy in a room very quickly, or pick up other people's energy and mistake it for their own.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. And people don't realise this about themselves, because you think of the way you are is the way everybody is when you're younger.
Yeah.
You have that perception, don't you, that if I think like this, everybody must think like this.
Yeah.
So you don't recognise necessarily your own traits.
Yeah.
And it can be that some empaths are naturally quieter and will observe more.
Okay.
So they might be more introverted.
Yeah.
There's a balance.
There's no one size fits all.
No, but there's generally with empaths a lot of inner dialogue.
Oh, okay.
They're quite complex generally, I find.
Yeah.
A lot of inner dialogue. Oftentimes had many challenges, maybe in childhood or beyond. Yeah. And are here to connect with and recognise how powerful their intuition is, because we're not taught that really in education or in other environments.
Yeah.
And they're here to connect with that and recognise that as a true power.
Yeah.
And recognise their worthiness. I would say empaths are usually, let me rephrase this, empaths often have imposter syndrome.
Oh, okay.
And they're usually the most capable people.
Oh, okay.
So it is only the beliefs and the perception that they have that's distorted.
And holding them back.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they can't see themselves.
So sometimes, while you were explaining that, I was thinking, sometimes you might, if that was the person, that person might need someone to tell them that they need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because they might not see it at all.
No, and they'll know when they're ready, though. It's amazing what we can be drawn to at certain times in our life, or what book we'll pick up, or what we'll start reading, or what we'll happen to see. Yeah. And I know that part of the big shift for me that's coming is I feel like I'm being moved more into groups and one-to-many instead of one-to-one.
Oh,
so we'll still do one-to-one.
Yeah.
I had a session yesterday, I've got one today.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. But I think that I've sort of got the guidance that I have to be present with more people. More people need to access this spiritual intelligence.
Right.
And because whilst I'm talking about empaths, the humanity is going to move more towards the spiritual. That's going to be a season change, a big cycle that's coming in. It will take many, many years, but that's where humanity is shifting towards. And sometimes before that point comes, you see a lot of chaos.
Right.
So,
while we're talking about chaos, something that I have very, very recently started to pay attention to are the full moons.
Yeah.
And so I was reading this morning that we have a full moon on the 29th.
A new moon.
A new moon, sorry. Oh yeah, I mean new moon. New moon, full moon, super moon. All moon type things.
All the moons.
And the shifting of the energy because of that.
Yes, because we had a total lunar eclipse on the full moon. Okay. It was in Virgo on Friday the 14th of March, off the top of my head, for the UK.
Okay.
And then the new moon is a partial solar eclipse.
Okay.
In Aries on the 29th of March, I think. I think that's Saturday.
So what does all that mean?
So, well, there's a lot more that's going on in addition to that, but
yeah,
it's ecliptical. So an eclipse, obliterates something. So it's really about, and interestingly, Virgo symbolises many, many things, but one of them is self-worth.
Yeah.
And Aries symbolises many, many things, but it's new beginnings.
Okay.
And it's the I am sign.
Oh, okay.
Prioritise me. This is what I want. This is warrior, pioneer energy. And Virgo is the high priestess.
Yeah. Oh, the high priestess.
Yes. Very nurturing.
Yeah.
And earthy. And Aries is fire. So it's really a pivotal point, which goes back to what I was saying at the beginning about beliefs changing and shattering.
Yeah.
And where it'll be very, very intense right now for some people. It's
intense. So how would that intenseness be felt?
Emotionally intense.
Okay.
They'll be triggered, emotionally triggered by a belief that's been around for far too long.
Right.
Connected with inner security and a sense of knowing their full power.
Yeah.
And that could be tested to the max for people. So in 3D terms, it could be financial challenges, relationships ending,
right,
breaking down,
right,
leaving jobs, leaving groups, leaving communities.
So quite big changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on their personal chart, but you'll know it. People will know it if they're in the thick of it.
Right.
And it's rinsing all that out so that they can go forwards to a brand new beginning, because we're entering a whole new cycle.
And some of these cycles can last for decades, can't they? Or can they?
Well, they can, because some planets take 250 years to rotate.
Right.
To move into a different sign, rather.
Okay.
So there's bigger stuff going on.
Yeah. With
bigger, further away planets.
Yeah.
And then there's more micro movements, like the moon changes signs approximately every 2.5 days.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. So there's a sort of micro shift. Yeah, I was going to say micro shifts, but in this context.
Yeah.
So what should we expect on Saturday?
Well, so I'm not an expert astrologer, but basically when you've got a new moon that's just coming in, the beginning stage, I think it's called the dark moon phase. So it's where it can be quite quiet energy bubbling away. Although people can feel it before it comes in. Okay. And it's a time for starting the new cycle, basically. Okay. And thinking about, so if we were to give to people one thing to think about, because sometimes we can just have too many things, what do you actually want? Yeah. What do you actually want in your life? And what are you prepared to cut away to get there? So if you think of a warrior as a sword, so warrior is one of the archetypes in my elemental leadership model. The warrior is, if you want something and you're saying you really want it, and we can do a lot of back and forth because self-doubt creeps in, and then people are, I want this, but don't want to put myself out there, don't want to do it like this, don't want to take a risk. Compromise something, Yes, Aries is fiery, risk-taking energy. So you may have to have a little bit of mindfulness around that. Yeah. But it's about saying, what do you want? And what are you prepared to do to get there? And get your sword out. Not literally. Just a warning, no weapons are required for this. But, metaphorically, what are you going to cut away? What are you going to slice out of your life? Because if you've got a mission, warriors have a mission, you've got to be able to clear the clutter, get the seagulls out, clear the clutter to get there, because it's dynamic energy. It's focused dynamic energy. Right. Zero tolerance for rubbish beliefs and stuff that's going to get in the way. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess some of these things need
confidence to do, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they're quite...
Or I prefer courage.
Courage, okay.
So I only get confident when I've done something enough times.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I have a lot of courage.
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes to make things happen that you can't be certain about and you don't know about.
Yeah.
And courage comes from the French word cœur, which is the heart.
Okay.
Which is it's another archetype in my elemental leadership, because there's no point being a warrior slashing your sword around if you don't know where you're going or what's really driving you. And a lot of the times people are driven by materialistic values, and that may be great and I'm all for that, but it's not necessarily deep enough to motivate people to give them the charge when the chips are down or things are hard. So you've got to go to the heart, basically. And the heart is that vision, values, alignment.
That's a great explanation.
Oh, thank you. Everything, I've thought about this a lot. Everything that you need to power you from a much deeper level, so it's intrinsic motivation, not externally led. Yeah.
And so you mentioned elemental leadership a few times. Are we talking elements as in earth, wind, fire, like the song or the band?
So I'm just swigging my green juice there.
Yeah.
I put a bit of gin in this morning to liven me up. Only joking. A squirrel.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, there it is. Oh,
yes.
In
the daffodils.
Yeah.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah, very busy. It's a very busy morning in this park with these birds and the rabbits and squirrels.
It's great.
It's quite nice to be a bit early, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. It's very peaceful.
It is. It's lovely.
Yeah, so elemental leadership. 4 elements.
Yeah.
Earth, air, water, fire.
Yeah.
And there are 2 archetypes within each element.
And what's an archetype?
An archetype is a pattern.
Okay.
Pattern of the psyche.
Okay.
And how I've designed it is these are all the archetypes and elements that are key to every person, every single person, to be in balance and to be integrated and to be whole.
Yeah. Okay. And so when I sign up for your elemental leadership course,
I love that. And you're looking in your crystal ball.
do you pick an element, or how does it work?
Well, I was thinking about that this morning because I've delivered elemental leadership in different ways.
Okay.
Done it on Zoom to 44 directors for one business.
Okay.
I've done it for coaches and mentors, people, they really get it as well. And in fact, everybody's got it who's done it, because the elements are a symbolic language that we all speak.
Yeah.
It's completely available to everybody, whatever culture you're from. You understand earth, water, fire.
Yeah, that's true.
And air.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to have a think about how I'm going to make this available to people, because it's quite huge, the content. But equally, you can take snippets. So that's going to be my next plan.
Okay. How to sort of give a teaser.
Yeah. And whatever I do, I like it to be valuable to people. I like to get people thinking. And I delivered a session at the International Women's Day event as well recently.
That? We clashed.
And that was on the creator archetype, which I love talking about, because that's within air and it's probably key to the whole of the rest of the model.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess the only way to find out more is to book a course.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to get onto that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to do lots of work.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Good.
It's all good. But it's like the creator really embodies a lot of the spiritual intelligence. So the creator is in the air energy, which is all to do with the things that we can't touch, but we know exists.
Yeah.
Thoughts, beliefs, all things connected to our perception, our filters.
Right, yeah.
It's just like air, it's there.
Yeah.
And we're using it through the breath as well for our communication. Yeah. But we can't touch it.
Right.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
And the spiritual intelligence piece in there, because there's also the archetype of the sage, which is in earth, which is all about being present.
Okay.
Being patient. But the creator archetype is the concept that we create our reality through our belief system.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the flowers there.
Yeah, very
Nice.
pretty flowers on the bench.
Yeah, so we create our own reality through our beliefs, and that we are the actor, the director and the writer of our own story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that everything that happens is happening for us, not to us.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Which is easy to think when you are having a good time.
Yeah.
But when it's challenging, it's really difficult to get on board with it.
Yeah.
But it can be a lifesaver as well.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole thing is built on. So it's incredibly empowering, which means if we have that state of mind, we can't blame.
Yeah.
We can't project. We've got to take full responsibility for ourselves and our leadership.
Yeah, that's really interesting you say that, because I've kind of always had this view that you just have to own what happens in your life.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you think someone else has done something to you, which they might have, but ultimately you're the common factor in the story of your life. So why are these things happening or being done? It's probably because you're letting that in.
Yeah, on some level. And for some people, that's going to get into a much higher level of consciousness to be okay with. But when you can be okay with that, it transforms it. Anything that we rile against, we can't transform it because it means that we're not accepting it. And acceptance is really key to be able to make any level of change. And it also, it's okay not to be at that stage. If something has happened that's negative, you have to honour the emotions. That's how you don't become emotionally suppressed. And it's okay to feel. I think we have real problems with understanding anger in this society, and anger is quite a sacred rite of passage. As long as you're not flinging your fists around other people.
There's a big white man going to drive past us in a second, very loudly.
It's a Citroen, just for anyone who's interested.
And it had a lot of people in it who all looked at us like we were
interesting.
Monumental.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
They're probably thinking, what is she drinking? What is that
what is that green thing? Yes. So acceptance is a really big thing, isn't it? It's kind of, it's not, I don't see it as, I think it has very positive connotations, but I think we need to be open to accepting negative things and moving on from that.
Yes.
And not trying to fix it.
As long as you can learn from it, that's the key thing. And also forgiveness comes in. Sometimes for yourself, whatever's happened, you can move on from it, but it is going to require acceptance and forgiveness. And you can't force forgiveness either, but it does set you free.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one, and that's something I personally find very difficult, as I'm sure a lot of people do, because I feel like it's a bit of a moral battle then. Am I letting myself down and my position down, and actually some things are just unacceptable.
They are
so I can accept that, and I'm at peace with accepting it, but am I going to like it, forgive it? For me that's a different thing.
I think so it's a really good conversation, and it's a huge conversation. There is. But I think true forgiveness doesn't justify bad behaviour. That's the key.
That's my worry. I think that's my worry. Is I would hate for that to be seen as validating.
No,
anything.
It's not. It's just about letting it go. And when I think of letting go, I think the real key is it's an emotional process. So once you've let go of the emotions around the thing, you can still have a strong moral code and know mentally in your thought processes that was not okay. That's not the kind of behaviour is acceptable. But accepting that it has happened and there's something to learn from it is different. It's the emotional bit. So when people talk about letting go, they're not even generally thinking about, is it a thought process? Is it a cognitive response? Is it an emotional response? if there's anything you can't let go of, it will be an emotional response. And even if it's something that people are plagued by in their thoughts, the thoughts sometimes, and anxiety is the same, is a distraction from deeper emotions like hurt and pain and anger and rage and sadness and blame. And the thing is that there's that really good quote, who I can't remember who said it, but it's like unforgiveness is drinking poison, hoping someone else is going to drop dead.
I think of that a lot.
Because when we feel emotions, and we're meant to, we're sentient creatures, but if we're repeating the same thing without doing the work, we're basically running the poison through our system constantly. And it's us that's feeling that. When we are in the middle of Tesco's or you know, going for a walk or getting out of the shower. So if people could understand how to work with emotions, which is really simple and very powerful, and that I did end up doing that in a lot of my sessions, it's a game changer. So
it's kind of what we're saying is forgiveness isn't forgiveness per se. That's what I'm getting.
It's letting go, but it's not justification.
So I think I'm okay with that definition or that way of thinking. I definitely struggle with the idea of forgiveness as in I forgive you.
It's
don't
not
really
have to
about
say
that.
To everybody because they won't care anyway.
No, exactly.
Or they might care. We can't generalise with these things. But what I find is a lot of people as well are waiting for the person to acknowledge something. And if you're waiting for that to feel okay, I mean, it might make you feel okay, but a lot of the time you're giving away your personal power to somebody who's done the thing in the first place, or you know, keep the power to yourself, and be able to let it go yourself without needing somebody else to say, do you know what, I was wrong, because that's their soul, that's their problem journey.
Exactly, and that's none of our business.
No, and if they haven't learned anything from the situation, you don't really need those people.
No, exactly. Exactly. No, well, that was a really good conversation. I'm pleased we sat down for it, because that was heavy.
I tell you what can happen as well. When you've let go, sometimes the other person can change their ways.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not being held in judgment. Because judgment is a really strong emotional energy that people can feel. If you watch families come together that don't see each other very often, you'll instantly spot the judgment patterns, and they will just revert right back to when they were 7 years old or whatever.
How funny.
Yes, it's very strong. We're very, very powerful creators on a level that we haven't really fully understood yet.
How fascinating. And that's just one archetype.
That's just one element of water, emotions.
Of water, oh my goodness.
So within the water element, there are two archetypes, and one of them is the healer. And that's about being able to heal our own emotional body, work with our own emotions to bring out, let go of any suppression. And so what was the archetype creator? Which element was that? Air, because that's all in the mind.
Interesting. It's fascinating. I love this stuff. And so I wanted to ask you about tarot cards as well.
Oh, yay!
Because you brought them into my life.
Oh, brilliant!
And I do pull them. And as I was saying to you earlier, before we turned the mics on, I was really hoping to remember to do my cards, which I leave in the kitchen so I can see them.
Oh, wonderful.
And I ate my breakfast looking at them. And then I left.
Well, on your way home, when you drive home, think about the card deck. And see what comes to mind, because sometimes I can think a card and then I'll shuffle them and the same card will come out. I do it all the time.
What?
It's hilarious.
I just find it so fascinating. So there was this one time I shuffled my deck. And pulled a card, and then I was like, I don't feel like I shuffled it with enough concentration.
Or focus.
Focus, and just enough. And so I did it again, and I pulled the same card.
That's hilarious, isn't it?
I nearly fell off my chair.
And the more you use them, the more that just becomes normal. In 78 cards in a standard tarot deck. It's really hilarious,
I think I'm cycling through the same 5 at the moment.
That's interesting.
So because your advice was to write them down, and I have been.
Great.
But I'm recognising that actually, I've got this one again. And that's in a short space of time. That's like January.
Well, pay attention.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so does that mean, and I'm not saying you're an expert in all things tarot, by the way.
No, but I'm pretty knee deep in there.
Yeah, I mean, how many card decks do you have?
Well, I'm slimmed down. I've got about 60 now.
Oh my God.
But they're just like works of art to me. They're just like my second language. It's symbolism and archetypes. I'm in heaven.
Yeah. And it's really impressive that you can spot which deck a card is from. That's like your mastermind thing. That's really impressive.
If I've got the deck, there's a lot of decks I don't resonate with. So you've got to go with the ones that you're drawn to.
Well, the one you recommended to me, the Light Seers one.
Yeah, I recommend that to everybody who's going to come and do tarot-based workshops.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a great
really
one.
Looking forward to your workshop next week.
Yes.
Just to learn more and to understand it more, because it's so in tune with just you. It's so personal, isn't it, to you?
It is. It's such a fantastic journey. I've written a post this morning, actually. Yeah. It's so misunderstood, but it's a fantastic personal development tool.
Yeah.
And it's something that already exists, that's infused with psychology and ancient wisdom and mysticism. And more people need to know about it on a practical level. You know, it's just already there.
Yeah. And
there's so much journaling that you can do around it. It's just absolutely brilliant.
I agree. And I kind of wonder if there should be an element of teaching people more about spirituality and learning about yourself at school.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think we're taught to understand who we are.
I don't think enough people understand the power of intuition and the levels that you can get to. But it's like we live in a busy world.
Yeah.
I hated meditating when I first started, and it's because
I still can't do it.
It's a power tool for me now. But it's still something I have to go, okay, let's fit this in, because life gets busy.
Just fell into a ditch.
I'm not laughing, she's safe.
Life does get busy. And it's a hard thing to teach if you're not open to learning it, I guess. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it's amazing how good people are at it, though. And then, I just practice meditation first to sort of be calm my mind, because I had one of those constant whirring minds.
Yeah.
And my lifestyle fueled that as well.
Yeah.
And so I just did it as a starting point to get to a stage of peace, because I was deeply curious. There was more to this life business. Yeah. And then eventually developed psychic and spiritual experiences and abilities.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has them. It's just whether you can be bothered or interested, because not everyone's going to want to do that. Yeah, but it's really powerful.
Yeah. So tarot cards then.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite one? Is there one that you pull and you think, oh yes, I've got this one today?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think they're so rich in symbolism. Yeah. I don't think I could narrow it down. Like when someone says, what's your favourite song? Mine might change every
Which is your favourite child?
Week. Yeah. Oh, that's easy. I'm only joking. I adore both my children equally. They're just wonderful humans.
It's on record.
It's on record. I said it. Yeah, it was a joke though. I say a lot of jokes.
I believe you.
You'll see one on eBay next week. Favourite tarot? Oh, I just don't know. Who I do. I do like the Queen of Wands, though. She's a character that I really like, because I think she's very mystical, but also fiery.
Okay.
She's the character that usually will have a black cat with her.
Okay.
Or some similar symbolism. It might be a cheetah or something like that in some of the more modern decks.
Yeah.
And she's feminine energy. She's a queen. So she's naturally intuitive. But she's very aware of her shadow, and I think that is the most powerful thing you can have in this life, is to be fully aware of your own dark side. Yeah. So where do we falter with our negative ego, whether that is self-doubt or whether it's needing external validation? Yeah. And I think when people don't think they have a shadow, which everybody does, all the stuff we dump in there, that's when you find out leaders or key people who you think look brilliant on the surface end up doing something really dark or having a secret, or something comes out about them, because it's impossible to be such a pure person. Like the moment you stop acknowledging what we can be drawn to through the ego,
yeah,
we lose that integrity. You know, we lose the integration piece and the integrity.
Yeah.
So you just have to know we're all totally fallible. We're all going to get stuff wrong.
Yeah.
We've all got our negative ego bits.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, because actually striving for perfection maybe diminishes your experience of life because you're not actually living authentically. You're trying to just be perfect all the time.
Yeah, which means you can't really live.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything wrong. We're meant to have all
everything's
these experiences.
Yes, exactly.
For the rich tapestry of life that the soul comes to explore and doesn't judge.
I love that. Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
What a note to end on.
Yeah, it was... We can go skipping in the fields now.
Yay!
Roll down the hill, actually. That might be fun. Although, we'd have to walk around again. And it's just too cold and windy.
You need to take socks on.
I'm not walking uphill again.
Fair enough.
Well, thank you so much. That was excellent. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Thank you so much. You're a wonderful host, Sukanya.
Oh, thank you. Big hugs. How was that for you? I, for one, was so deeply moved by this conversation with Amanda that I have, in fact, booked a one-to-one session with Amanda to delve deeper into my journey and to understand myself more. And I cannot wait to get started. If Amanda's work resonates with you, if anything in the conversation sparks something in you, I do encourage you to check out Amanda's website, follow her on socials, and give tarot card a reading if that's what floated your boat, because I know I, for one, am thoroughly enjoying my daily tarot reading, and that's something I never thought I would be saying. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing with us and for such a nourishing and expansive conversation. And thank you, as always, for walking with us and listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please do have a scroll through the feed, and you'll find other conversations with brilliant guests, which are all recorded while we're out and walking, exploring everything from creativity and community to business, burnout and belonging. Please do make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow us on social media. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Substack, and Blue Sky. And do please share your favourite episodes with your friends and family. Until next time, take care, and let's go and grab that tarot deck.